What's going on YouTube? How's everybody today? Yes, I'm a little hungover too. Today we're going to talk about an artist from New Zealand, a guitarist from New Zealand. His name is Dean Roberts. He used to be in a band called Thela. He is also known as Winged Moth. He is also in this new band called Autistic Daughters. Dean Roberts, this is his 2003 album called Be Mine Tonight. I think it's around like his 5th solo album, something like that. He's been making solo work since around 1996. He could have been making some before that. I'm not really sure because he's got so many aliases. It was really hard to pinpoint where it all started. But anyway, New Zealand guy. This album is it's roughly like 35 minutes long of just this weird minimal improv guitar kind of recordings, experimental. It's the kind of album that really effectively like blurs genre lines and stuff and incorporates, post-rock with like some bluesy sounds. It has a little folk, a lot of acoustic. It has like electronic parts, some parts where it's mildly noisy, a little bit of drone in there. It's all over the map. This album, like I said, is 35 minutes long, but it's only 4 songs. So some songs are like 9 minutes, one song's 5 minutes. I think one's almost close to 11. Yeah, just like experimenting with compositions, making all these kind of like open-ended songs. Very plays around with a lot of open space. Like it's minimal, right? So areas of this album will just be like a plucked guitar string and some weird humming or a rattling sound in the background. It's got some very restrained drumming where I can hear just some drummer just playing some brushes on a cymbal. It's very sparse. He actually recorded this in Italy over the course of 2 years with a variety of very accomplished Italian musicians, none of them who I know off by name or anything like that. I've never heard of them before, like Valerio Tricoli and Antonio Arborito and Martha. But yeah, there's like a variety of instrumentation on here too. There's guitar, electronics, prepared guitar, cellos, cymbals, harmoniums, glass harmonica, pianos, Fender Telecasters, and like digital editing and some engineering is also listed under like instruments and stuff like that. But yeah, it's a very hard album to explain because it's so kind of weird. It's got this very haunted kind of sound to it. Like I said, it's improvisational, so it's got all these like unique song structures, chiming sounds. There is singing on this too. When Dean Roberts is singing, he sings in this very hushed, kind of subdued, kind of wrenching, kind of whispered, kind of very quiet version of singing. But yeah, it's just a weird album. Like I don't really know how I feel about it. It's got some weird harmonies and like almost melodies on here. It's an album with a lot of sonic diversity. It's slow building. It really takes its time. It can be a little difficult to get into because there's nothing really there to hook you in. There's nothing really engaging. Just these weird, very subdued, slow tempos. Songs will shift genre, like in a song, like it just went post-rock there for a little while, and it's like, what happened? And then it'll go back to some piano, or it's not really all that random or spontaneous. There's not very, very brief moments of like spontaneity on here. As far as improv goes, it's very relaxed, very gentle, very quiet, a little kind of woozy feeling at times. But yeah, it's definitely very innovative. It's kind of complex, a little bit elaborate. It's very interesting because they'll have like these weird electronic sounds over this acoustic kind of folky stuff, but it all has this very kind of frail kind of feeling to it. Like it's just kind of like a bare bones kind of thing, even though there's all these weird background noises, all these subtleties going on here. Like some songs build and swell over time, but there's also like an unwinding area to the album too, where the songs just kind of meander and just like unfurl a little. It definitely has this kind of like aching vibe to it too. But yeah, reverb, drones, humming, acoustic guitars, pianos, very weird, very, very, very unique song structures for sure. But yeah, I don't really know how I felt. Like I've listened to this album a couple times already today too, and I'm not really sure what's going on. It's just listen to it and you're like, there's some parts that I can remember, but it's completely different each time I listen to it. I'm like, I don't know, it wasn't memorable, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. But it's pretty, like, I'll give it credit for being like ingenuitive and like, you know, very, very unique for sure. It's pleasant to listen to, very unique. But yeah, artwork's pretty basic. It's just this weird kind of apartment building, or I don't even know what that is. Somebody in a window there. Is that Dean Roberts? And it's the same thing on the back with just more pictures. I don't know who those people are. Yeah, and those are the song titles right there. Song titles are like Song 1, all pigeons, not pigeons, pigeons sent to war, Palace of Adrenaline, V and EE. Song 2, Disappearance on the Grandest of Streets. Song 3, Smash the Palace and What Nerves You've Got. Yeah, and then Letter to Monday, Song 4. But Song 1 had a very weird song title. And on the inside, just lyrics. And then just production credits. But yeah, it was released on Kranky. And Kranky's always releasing this kind of very almost ethereal. Well, they have a lot of ethereal stuff. This kind of almost was. We're not really kind of music. It's very unique, very strange. But yeah, it has a very subdued vibe to it. Very interesting. I don't know if you're into this, like if you wanted to listen to some very minimal guitar improv that was recorded in Italy with some Italian musicians. But yeah, very slow moving, very unique. It's got some good ratings online. But yeah, just I guess it's just experimenting with compositions and stuff. And I don't know, Dean Roberts. He's been making music like this for a while though, and I've heard good things about Autistic Daughters, but I don't know how I feel about this album really. It's mysterious for sure. Dean Roberts, Be Mine Tonight, 2003, Kranky Records.